Hey, Algebra 2. Definitely not with you today, as you can obviously see, but I wanted to give you just a quick heads up of another way to solve some of these 2x2 systems, right? So again, this is a review from Algebra 1. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect at it, but maybe just in saying that, it kind of does give you a good heads up of what to think back to from Algebra 1 and kind of recalling something. Now, you can see that we have a title of what we're using to solve this by. It's called elimination, right? Another method that I've heard some people call is solving by addition, solving by canceling out or crossing out. But essentially the goal is what we're going to do is on every single equation, we're going to make x's on top of each other. We're going to make the y's on top of each other. And then the equals and the numbers without any variables. We're just going to line them up vertically. All right. When that happens, I'm going to look for common or opposite terms, coefficients in front of the same letter. So x, they have a 2 and they have a negative 2. All right. Come back to that. Y has a positive 3 and a negative 4. So the x's have opposite coefficients. So when I see they have opposite coefficients, I'm just going to add straight down. Okay? When I do that, these eliminate or cancel out. That's the whole goal here. And I have to make sure I pay attention to the signs. I am adding these. So 3 plus negative 4 is just negative y. Again, there's my equal sign. And again, I'm adding that straight down. 8 plus negative 6 is positive 2. In order to get y by itself, I must take the opposite or divide by negative 1. So y equals negative 2. Alright? So that's pretty straightforward, right? That's really nice to have that right there. Now, here's what I do. Just like substitution, I have to find two letters. Alright? So we know that my answer is a point. And we have negative 2 as one of our answers. Alright? Let's see about getting it back into the other. It doesn't matter which one that you use to plug it in, right? So I'll say that, hey, let's just say this is the purple. And let's say that this bottom one is the red. I'm going to use the purple to x plus 3y equals 8, or 2 times x plus 3y equals 8. Again, x was negative 2. And I could just go about and solve for, look what I did. It's y equals negative 2, but I put it in for the x, right? Oh, come on. Rookie mistake. Not paying attention. Those are the kind of errors, class, that will really mess you up. Alright, so my apologies on that. 2x minus 6 equals negative 8. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And I come up with 14. And divide by 2. And I get 7, right? So there should be my second answer, right? I could verify that just by plugging it into the other equation. I said that was going to be in red. Negative 2x minus 4y equals negative 6. And again, I'm going to do a better job of actually substituting my value of y in for the y this time. So it was negative 2x minus 4y equals negative 6. So I'm going to multiply those together. Negative 2x. And that's positive 8, right? Positive 8 right there. And so it comes up to be, and then there it is. There's another mistake. I didn't put that negative sign there. So now I can subtract 8. Negative 2x equals negative 14. And x equals positive 7. So that's the two answers right there. Okay. This method works when you have opposite numbers in front of the same letter. Alright. Let's take a look at the second one here. I'm going to give you a chance to try this here in a second. But think about it. X has opposite numbers or y? I'm going to pause the video. I want you to also pause the video and just try this problem, right? Maybe you try it and you're just trying to get the first number. Perfect. All right, here we go. All right, if you're here so far, We saw that we could cancel out the y's. That left us with 5x equals 5 and x equals 1. Alright, now we need to find y. Go ahead, if you haven't done so, pause the video and let's find out. Alright, so I just chose the second equation to go ahead and plug it back in. Notice I have it written down here. Then I made sure to plug it in for the right letter this time, right? So we're plugging it in for x. Go ahead and starting to simplify the process, and we come up with y equals 5. Now, what I did was I just took this top equation and I just verified it. I just checked my answer, right? So I put the x in. That was 1. Then I put the y in. That was 5. And I verified that 10 plus 15 equals 5, right? So my answer is 1, 5. Alright, those are pretty straightforward. It's really nice when they have some of those opposite coefficients in front of the same letter. Alright? The same thing kind of happens here. I'm not going to really spend a lot of time, but if I just have the same number, like 5x and 5x right here, or 5y and 5y right here, then I know that they're not opposites, right? But what I can do here is I could just multiply, it doesn't matter which one equation by -1. Alright, so I'm just going to take a look at the bottom. So I'm going to multiply this all by a -1. So again, my first equation stays the same here. 5x plus 3y equals 11. But what happens is I have a -5x, a -6y, and a -17. It doesn't matter. You could have multiplied the top equation by -1. When I do this here, now I have something to work with because now the 5's are opposite. -3y equals -6, and y equals +2. Again, it doesn't really matter. Notice I really have 3 equations now. I have my original first, my original second, and I have my new second equation. Any of those 3 will work. I'd always prefer to work with the 2 originals just because the numbers are smaller or there's probably less negatives. Alright? So I'm going to go ahead and just put it into the first. So again, it was 5x plus 3y equals 11. 5x plus 3y, that was 2, equals 11. 5x plus 6 equals 11. 5x equals 5. And x equals 1. Right? So we could verify that again if we needed to, but that is just 1, 2. I'm going to pause this video here. Go ahead and try number 4. Very similar to number 3. Alright, you should be able to see the answer here. Again, I just chose to use negative on the top one this time, but you can kind of see the thought process. Feel free to pause this video if you need to look at it a little bit closer. Alright, again, this is up to you guys, being a high school student, to make sure that you understand it. Alright, let me know if I can help out in any way. Alright, here's another scenario with the elimination, right? We're taking it a little slow here. So we've seen one that we don't have to change it. The second type of problem that we saw was where we just had to do the opposite of one of the equations. That's not going to work right here, right? One thing that you also can do is instead of just multiplying by -1 to switch it, we can actually multiply by a number to raise both the one side of the equal sign, I hesitate to say the left because I'm not sure if this is the left, and the other side, right? So if I have an equation, I can multiply both by 2 on both left and right of the equal sign, and they're still equal to one another. So let's think about this here. The x's nor the y's cancel at the very beginning. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to multiply all of this equation by 5. And watch what happens here. I'll just rewrite the top one. Watch what happens when I multiply this entire second equation by 5. So 5 times 21, so 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 21, 105. Now I can just add them straight down, and guess what? Those x's are out of there. We have 3y equals, and then it's positive 81. So go ahead, we could just divide this out, divide both sides by 3, and y equals, and what do we have here? We have 81 divided by 3, that's just 27. Alright? Now again, a lot of things to put in here. I'm going to choose to put it into my original second one. That's here in the orange. X minus 3y equals 21. Again, it doesn't matter which one you choose. X minus 3, and then it's going to y, so that's 27 equals 21, and x minus 81. I knew 3 times 27 was 81. There's a fact family there. Go ahead and subtract, or excuse me, add 81 here. Right? And that's 102. X equals 102. Right? Maybe we just want to verify this here. Okay? So if I want to plug it back in, I could use this blue equation of negative 5x plus 18y equals negative 24. Again, just verifying this, negative 5, and then it was times x, or times 102, plus 18y, y was 27, and that equals negative 24. Alright, so 5 times 100 is 500, so 5 times 102 should be 510. Alright, so that's negative 510, and then we have 18 and 27. 18 and 27. Hold on just a second. I had 18 plus 27. That would not have been helpful. So it's plus 486. And now if I add them, yep, they work. It adds up right there, right? So kind of a weird answer. We don't often see something this unique, but 102, 27, there it is. Alright, try deciding what you're going to multiply number 6 by. Right? Do we need to multiply the top equation for one of the letters to have opposite numbers, or the bottom? Your choice. Go ahead and pause this, and we'll convene back together again. Alright? Alright, guys. Here's what I came up with right here. Negative 4, 7. Again, I verified that. I tried to find that in the second one so I could verify it in the first. So 4 times negative 4, that's negative 16. Plus 2 times 7, that's positive 14. So negative 16 plus 14. Yep, that's it. Alright, so we've seen where we just have to multiply one of the equations here. Alright. Let's see here. Let's take a look at number 8. Let's skip number 7. And we're going to take a look at number 8. Sometimes not only do you have to just multiply 1, but you actually have to multiply 2. Alright? I'm going to start with this one in the blue, this one here in the red, and have to think about, I'm going to see if I can get the y's to cancel. That means that I'm going to multiply this top equation by 4 and the bottom equation by positive 3. Alright? So if we're looking at the setup this way here, that's going to be something important to note. I'm sorry, I lost my complete train of thought there. So 4 times negative 4x is just negative 16x, times negative 3y is just minus 12y, and then 4 times 14, so that's 4 times 10 or 40, 4 times 4 is 16, 40 plus 16 is just 56. Another way to think about that, 4 times 15 is 60. So if I just take a 4 away, that'd be 56 there. Alright, purple here. 3 times 5 is negative 5x, is negative 15x. Times positive 4, positive 12y. And then negative 29 times 3, that's really close to negative 30. Times 3, negative 30 would be negative 90. So negative 29 is just negative 87. Alright. Those cancel. We have a negative 31x. And let's verify this here. It looks like we're going to have a, this will be nice, a negative 31 over here. That means just x equals positive 1, right? Alright, so when we're looking at this here, now we have to plug something back in. I'm going to use the red equation right here of just negative 5x plus 4y equals negative 29. So negative 5x plus 4y equals negative 29. And then when we have this here, we're just going to be taking a look at multiply by 1. And negative 5 plus 4y equals negative 29. Add the 5 to both sides, so that's 4y equals, if I add the 5, negative 24. Divide both sides by 4, and y equals negative 6. So there we go. Alright. Now, there are a couple problems here. Notice at the very bottom, they just are, at least one of them already has y equals. So you could manipulate this equation to solve it by elimination, but what would be more helpful is if we come up with a method to say, what is the most helpful way to solve this problem, right? Yes, I could rearrange this problem right here, if it's blue, to positive 3x plus y equals negative 24. And if it's red, I could rearrange this here to positive 2x plus y equals negative 17. Right? I could do something similar to this problem for 10 here as well. But my point is, if you find an easier way, maybe using substitution, that would be something that's really helpful in knowing how to do this. Alright, so we're not going to worry about 9 and 10. Okay, we're going to finish the video here. But you do have a Math Excel assignment. It's solving systems by elimination. Alright, so that is your Math Excel assignment. Again, continue to improve any other scores that you might have. Make sure that you're looking at Canvas. We do have a quiz coming up before the end of the week. Alright, until then, guys, it's great to chat with you, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.